Okay, what we're doing right now, we're in Perla, and these people have not had clinic for months, and surrounding this village of Perla are mountains which represent thousands of people who are very sick, a large number of children with severe malnutrition, sickness, fevers, everything. And this is where we had such a large cholera outbreak last year, and cholera is starting to come again because of the rains. But right now, because we don't have adequate buildings and facilities here in this village, what we're doing is we have several hundred people that's here today looking for help with their children, with everything. And it's very chaotic. We're used to working in chaos, but today is utter chaos. And there's just not a room enough for all the people who are seeing patients, pharmacy, wound care, injections, deworming children, all the different aspects of an open air clinic. So what we're doing is we need to move some of the people away from our workplace, and we found a shelter here where they usually put their beans to dry, their coffee, and they were kind enough to loan this to us. So to us, we are very happy to have this today. So we're going to go and move our tables in our pharmacy, and a lot of the crowd will come, making our conditions a little more workable. This is a kind man that owns that shelter over there, so he's loaning it to us. But he also speaks a little English, so we're using him today to interpret. Merci. Uva edio porte tu bagay la. Hallelujah. Wonderful. Okay. Hey, Leo, don't let them go inside. Pharmacy's over there.
How big is the baby? Right here.
It's a little chaotic today, but we're going to manage better to see more people faster. These people have traveled, some of them all night long over the mountains, and we don't want them to go home sick, but we want it to be more manageable. We have hopes one day of building a building here, trusting God that someone's going to come along and help us to build a school, which will be a church school clinic here. And they have so many needs. There's so much malnutrition in this area. So we want to start a feeding program for children, to feed children 2 to 3 times a week in this area, and to be able to send food up the mountains, dry food, to start the program up there too. It'll make a big difference in the area. There's one little child here. The mother's dead. The grandma is elderly and cannot take care of the kids. Okay, Asha Timun. And you can take so many kids if you let yourself, but you can't always do that. You have to evaluate their circumstance, and you only take a child back to new life if you know the child is going to die, or the child is a true orphan, and you see the grandmother cannot take care of it, and you see already signs of malnutrition that's getting worse and worse and worse. Then you consider that. Then you take the next of kin back to Port-au-Prince, where they see where the child is going to be raised, if they want the child to be adopted one day or not, but the child has to be released legally to New Life Children's Home. So we've evaluated the child, and it does have marks of malnutrition. 2 of them do here, and they all have degrees of malnutrition here. Can be severe, moderate, or mild here. And you have to really look, if you can catch it when it's mild or moderate, you can keep that child from dying of malnutrition. That's why we invest so much in vitamins and worm medicine and nutrition and feeding programs here to keep the child, from getting severe and dying. That's the main reason why we don't want to just come to clinic and put a Band-Aid on and go home to come back and find the same thing. We want to put a program here to feed children in this area. In fact, 4 areas that we've identified are the very worst, and to be able to feed children several times a week give them medication, give them worm medicine and vitamins, weigh them, and watch them progress. And it's going to make a big difference if we can do that and get the help and support we need. We need people to help us with food or finances to buy food. And we want to put a full-time nurse in one of the locations so that they will have access to medical care. So we're excited about the program, but we can't do it by ourselves. We need help. And I can't think of any greater joy than to know that you're helping to save a child's life. This child has got to have 104 temperature, easy. Child's burning up. He's chaud. When he's chaud. Yeah. You can see this is marasmus, malnutrition. 15 mois? 13 months. Definitely this child will grow worse and worse and worse until it's just another statistic. And we can't let this keep happening in this area. We know the answer is not taking them all back to New Life Children's Home. We need to do something here. We need sustainable programs out here. But for now, we have to start feeding these children, giving them medication, starting with phase 1, and then we can graduate to water projects and full-time facilities with God's help. We need people to come aboard and to help us. It costs money for food. It costs money to ship it out. It costs money for medication. We can do the work, but we can't do it alone. We just ask you please to have compassion with us and help us to have compassion on these children that need help so badly and be a part of this program.
Is this one going with us?
Yeah, we're going to take this baby back with us. Yeah, the baby doesn't have much of a chance if we don't intervene, you know. Okay, I really don't want to send the baby back to the mountains today because the baby's too sick. So what I'm going to do is take the grandma back to the camp where we sleep, our base, and find a little room so we can look after the baby because the baby is really getting into critical stages. And then we can start feeding the baby and giving it the medicine it needs and giving it the care it needs until we go. So I'd rather bring the grandma back to care for the baby because we have several clinics to go rather than take the child back to the same setting and maybe not get any food, the fluids that it needs, or the medical care it needs. So at least we'll be getting a head start by taking the baby back. Okay? Okay. Ask them where they're from. They're from Malcouchon, over this mountain right here. Malcouchon is the same area that our little Alex came from. Alex is dead today because he laid in his little hut day and night, day and night, day and night without a mom, without anyone to care for him. And it was very sad. By the time we took him back, he was so bloated like a balloon, and his hemoglobin was 5. He needed blood. Alex died, and they live in the same village, Malcouchon. Very, very poor village over the mountains. The water is contaminated. There's little or no food over there. They have to really work hard even to get a yam. And a lot of the children just eat what they call a yam, which is like a potato, no protein. But he lives in the same place. And that touches my heart when I know that what's over there where Alex died. Very poor village. And I'm just glad we're taking the babies today. See, we don't need another sad situation. This is so incredible. They want to give the child because they can't care for the child, and you can see the child can't care for they can't care for the child. But this is so remarkable. This absolute wonderful young man came to this clinic when he was a little boy. This very facility, this very area, came down the mountain so sick. He was in worse condition than this child. He would have died in 1 week. But thank God for people who intervene. And now, can you believe, and he was adopted in the U.S., He comes back to Haiti today with his adoptive family and saw his mom, his birth mom, after 20 years. But what does he do? He comes here working in the clinic, helping other children. Look, John, look at that. Now he holds a child. Look at this, Kathy. Now he holds a child that needs his help. He understands more than anyone. But look at this beautiful story, how he would come back. We took him back to Port-au-Prince dying of malnutrition, never knowing if he would live or not. And look what God has done, this handsome, beautiful young man. John, how do you feel about this? I mean, let us know, how do you feel today holding a child that needs your help the same way God helps you? How do you feel about that?
You can't put it in words how much it means just to be here right now, and the work that we're doing is just amazing, and just don't want it to stop, basically.
I know. Beautiful. This is what keeps you going, just the results of everyone's effort. We can't do it alone. People give, people go, people pray. It's God's work and he gets the glory. So we're just really grateful. But anyway, we're going to have a new little single fee. Garçon, a new little boy. Qui joli really?
Ismail.
Huh?
Ismail.
Ismail? Okay. He's very hot. We got to get him Tylenol. So we have a new little boy. Okay.
This mission has been, I call it a soul recharge. Basically, it's trying to maximize good. You know, basically, you see a need, you try to meet it. You try to think of new ways, innovative ways to help out the people whose need is great.
We have had an amazing team here. We have builders and engineers, people that have been documenting our experience. We have doctors and nurses and pastors, and it's been a learning experience for us all. And everyone has something to provide to the people of Haiti and to these villages. And I said most is education and just teaching skills, teaching them how to take care of themselves.
Okay. Okay, the baby's hungry, of course. But this is what we're going to do. Okay, Vinny, let me keep with you. I want to explain what's happening here. This is a health worker that we've been training, doing a good job. And what he's doing right now is measuring the degree of malnutrition. This is how you measure it.
Malnutrition severe.
Malnutrition severe is what he's saying, because it's in the red zone. That's the problem in this area, and that's why we must have this feeding program. Too many kids have died already, and if one more dies, it's one too many. So we need to do something, but the baby's hungry also. When we come to these areas, you have to understand that people travel. Some of the people travel all night long over mountains. I can guarantee you everyone that shows up is hungry. Either they haven't eaten all night or they haven't eaten since yesterday sometime, and maybe they didn't eat at all for some time. And all these kids come hungry, they're weak. And so what we do, because we know whether they ate or not, they have to wait all day long to see someone and go back over the mountains again. So we trust God, and I'm so grateful when people give us food and or money to buy. So we had some Feed My Starving Children food and some manna packs that we put together with some bags of rice and beans. And we find village workers, of course, to cook the food. Pretty soon we're going to bring the children over and have them sit down and give all the children a meal. And over here you can see they're cooking rice. Est-ce que nous capable ça fait là? So anyway, it's almost ready. Kilo tu bagay ba fini? The presque fini? Okay, it's almost ready. So we're almost ready to call the children over. This rice has vegetables and chicken and vitamins. So much nutrition in it today. So we're feeding all the children in the area as well as the children that came to clinic. And we'll also be feeding the adults. Écoutez.